All right, guys, today we are talking about zone defense, and we have a couple of teams that are running a similar type of zone that I just want to talk through some of their general philosophies and what they're trying to do in different areas of the field. So, as we get started, what we want to do is to get an idea first off of what the responsibilities are and what the locations on the zone are. So, this group here, this area, these guys are called the base. Okay, these are typically going to be two long poles down on the base. Next, we've got our crease. You'll notice that he's pretty much looking away the whole time when we do this. Then we have our two shorties, 1, 2, they're on the corners. And then we have our long pole, number 3, and he's up top. So we go pole, 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 shorty, shorty. And that's how the thing is generally set up. So just quickly as we talk about these, the responsibilities, our crease guy is the first guy to really pay attention to. And so what we're going to do is we're going to watch the way he is able to look away the entire time, especially when the ball is behind the goal. And his job is to catch any cutters that come to the crease. Okay. So this look here he is catching a cutter. The cutter leaves, so he leaves the cutter. He's looking for any cutters. He is not even looking at the ball. That's not his job. Get a little zoom out. All right, so here's our crease guy again. Here comes a cutter. He's going to snap to the cutter. As he leaves, he's going to snap back to the crease and take a look at what he needs to catch. That was a nice little job by him snapping to number 51 there and becoming there, leaves him. Another cutter comes through. He makes sure he takes care of it. That's his job. Okay. Our next guy we want to look at, let's take a look at the bottom pair here. Okay. So the bottom pair, what their job is going to be is they need to play whoever is coming into their zone and into this area. So when the ball is behind the field, behind the goal, they are going to play the ball pretty aggressively, which means that if someone was to sneak back in behind their zone, the rotation needs to come from the opposite side of the base. Okay. So that'll be a pretty typical rotation that they will make. Another situation in which they may need to rotate across the goal is if a dodger presses into this area here. Okay, one of the principles is going to be to pinch any ball carrier. And when there's a pinch, there needs to be a rotation behind it. So if we've had to pinch there, that means we have to rotate there to make sure there's no easy dunk, which means we rotate off the backside down. Because again, our crease's job is never to get in the rotation. If he can help it, he's going to be a cutter catcher. Okay. And then finally, another area in which we sometimes need that rotation is if they press into this gap here in between the long pole and the shorty. All right. That means we pinch. And if there's a pinch, there must be a rotation that happens behind it. Okay. So now we'll watch the, really paying attention to the base pair here. You'll see he came out to press the ball here, which meant that 5 came underneath to rotate under. Ball goes behind. Now, as he pushes up this side, we're going to pick up the ball with the base pair on either side, which means our shorties, saying our, like we're on defense, our shorties need to get down to help out. So you'll notice how low the shorty is here. Again, we're focusing on the base pair right now. Ball's behind. Look how low the shorty gets. This is the short stick whose zone was up here, but because the ball is behind, his job is to come all the way down here and pick this up. And we rotate with our long pole across, and our other shorty is kind of getting right to the right-o. Keep an eye on the base pair. We're watching base pair right now. This is a good little double team. So as we get a carry into a gap, we're going to pinch all gaps and rotate behind all pinches. Pinch and ready to rotate. He does a good job snapping back so they don't need to fully rotate. Let's get back to their zones. Good defense there. All right, next, let's watch the next clip. Again, this is Loyola versus Duke. So same thing here. Let's talk through kind of what the defense is looking to do here. So ball is behind. Loyola is going to play the ball a little bit aggressively behind. Here's our crease man looking away at the crease. Here's our first shorty, and then our second shorty is over on the far side. Okay, now you can really see the setup there of the 3-3 zone. Now Loyola is playing this somewhat passively. They're not out playing the ball. When we see Brown will play the ball a little bit more aggressively, but they will still be using the same principles in terms of how they protect the ball. So here we had a little bit of a carry coming this way, or a drag, since he's technically going backwards. And the rotation, this was the crease guy. And so the crease guy, instead of popping out, we're going to let this rotate from the base up and then rotate across the base on the bottom. So here's that rotation up, and there's the base on the bottom getting to there. The crease man never got into that play. It's important for him because, and then there's your snapback. That's probably the key to this whole thing here. So here comes the rotate up. So let's keep an eye on our man here, okay? As he rotates up, here he comes back into the play, into his spot. All right. That's a really subtle thing that they do, is snapping back into their zones, pushing everyone back on the string to be together. And here's that big rotation, and a good job here. And what I want you to see here is the good job that our long pole will do on this rotation. This man here, as he rotates to the ball carrier, watch this poke check right into the arms right there. Boom. And that gives us a relatively easy save for our goalie to make from outside. Next, we'll talk about how the zone works for Brown. Brown runs it. It's the same zone. Okay, so here we have pole in the middle looking away, pole on the point, playing the point. Here's your two shorties, 1, 2. Here's your base pair, 1 and 2. Okay. And what they're doing a little differently than Loyola is they just play the ball heavier behind the goal. Okay. They want to put pressure behind. They're going to stay in their same concept. So if he was to get top side, all right, this man is going to show down and will rotate behind it. If he was going to turn on that island, the rotation comes 61 across the crease. So here he's playing him on the island on the GLE. Here comes the hedge down from this shorty, and you'll notice this man has now cheated to this side of the pipe. This backside shorty has gotten down, knowing that he's going to need to help out number 30 if that rotation needs to happen. Here's the step down from that short stick midi. As the threat is neutralized. He no longer needs to be there. 13 is now going to drift back into his space to help pick up his zone. Here's that backside shorty again, way down. He came from up here down to here. Because we're playing the ball behind, he has that responsibility. So this is that same look. So now let's watch number 30. He's the guy who's currently standing in the crease. He's part of that base pair. He goes out and plays the ball. Now on this carry, he stays with the carry because that's part of his zone, and he understands that the help has to come 61 there if he had to stay in that. But they do a good job getting that pinch, which means he now snaps back into his zone. We recover and play. Here's a carry and a pinch. Here's a pinch. And everything's in good shape. Now, what you're going to notice is 13 is actually a short stick now. So 13 got mixed out onto the crease with one of their poles. And let's take a look at how this happens here. So 13 is our guy right here. This is 13. And so what's going to happen is his man cuts to the crease. He has to honor that cut all the way through. And we'll watch that in a second. As the ball goes around, he finds his zone again. And as 37 cuts, he needs to honor that cut because now there's 2 on the crease. So since he took that cut all the way deep, there's communication here that says, now you're the crease guy and I'm going to fill out into this top right zone. And so now the guy who was the crease, number 18, he becomes the top right of the zone. Nothing changes except for where the people were. So they just had a little bit of a flip-flop in spots, but everything else stays the same. Here comes a pinch, ready to rotate behind. You'll notice he had come up. Okay, they're going that way, which means he snaps back to his zone and everyone gets back into their zone shapes. Pinch. They actually get called for a hold here, but overall the possession was very good on defense. And then finally, our last one of the day, another Brown versus UVA zone set. Okay, so we're playing the ball pretty heavy here. This is the base. Okay, we're playing the ball pretty heavy. We're in our shape. Here's Shorty helping down, long pole helping down, long pole looking away, and base ready to help. As he rolls to the inside, here comes our 61 slide, our 61 support, which means our short stick needs to be ready to be down here. So he supports. As the dodge becomes less important, you see him kind of slowly start to rotate. This is a great job by Brown here. We'll watch this again. Number 30 does an awesome job. Really challenging kind of rotation for that base pair, and they both do a great job. So really, let's focus on our man here who's covering the ball. As he goes in, he plays the ball here. As his man loses the ball and he recovers back to the crease, he knows that we had a pinch, and even though his job was to recover right away, he had to rotate back up the field, which means that we had to help on that rotation across the crease and help now from our short stick down low. Okay, and then nice job by number 9 to get a piece of the ball. Allows the zone to get reset. Carry, pinch, rotate. Gets a stick on his gloves and helps the shot go wide. So pretty simple zone run by both teams. I would consider this to be a traditional 3-3 zone with our shorties on the corners. Good job by both these defenses in terms of communicating, being aggressive in their rotations, and then being able to snap back when they were when it was no longer in their zone. That's our zone talk for the day. Hope you guys have a great one. See you later. Go Perp.